Thanks so much, Josh. Yeah, that was really interesting. And, I think this idea of, finding your influencers in the social channels and going out and really listening and validating really what you're hearing from them is interesting, and that kind of what we talked about at the beginning, it really reinforces what Gary talked about from the outset. So, just the same way that we as marketers really validate what we're hearing back directly from customers and prospects and adjusting our traditional marketing approaches, really what Gary was talking about having a validated marketing department, you really need to take the same steps in the social channels. We're coming up with strategies all the time as marketers on what we want to tell people about ourselves, but why not also go into those channels where people are sharing, listen to what your peers and your competitors and your prospects are saying, and really speak to them the way they're already talking about your services or products that you provide, because I think that's really kind of what you were saying. Yeah, tweak our messages into those channels appropriately. Again, kind of that idea of separating the content from the delivery. And I really also, just as a marketer, I love the way you've really equated the social channels to things in our everyday lives, because I think that's maybe perhaps even the most useful from sort of a brass tacks kind of approach. I think everybody can understand, the family picnic and the crazy uncle whoever that was, and the
Stuart.
idea of like Stuart.
Yeah, crazy Uncle Stuart.
Mine's the other time. But, in the idea of I think in that kind of vernacular, to really start thinking about which types of content to repurpose into those channels. And if you're augmenting that by already listening and being a part of that, and to Gary's point, really, you need to have the clout in advance to really make this work well, then I think it's really where we start to see the strategies really aligning and it being less of just a social strategy or a traditional marketing strategy, but really we're just sort of putting our feelers out into different channels in different ways and adjusting our messages and approaches, real time, I think.